Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'd like to share my thoughts on the Eye of the Midnight Sun encounter arc from Black Clover, which consists of episodes 28 to 39. And well, this is where the series starts to get really good in my opinion. And I always hate when people say that about anime, like, imagine with One Piece, bro, it gets good after 100 episodes, that's never a good sign. But I will concede the fact that the first arc and a half of Black Clover is really slow. And even still, Asta is kind of an annoying character with his voice, and he's just always screaming like a madman. But I think that is his character. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how he grows. But really, I watched this show for the side characters, and really, I'm really seeing them shine in this arc right here. We see Ghost shine, we see Yami shine, the villains are pretty compelling. And overall, I think that's reason enough to continue watching it. Plus, it's not incredibly long. Like, I use One Piece as an example all the time. I mean, hundreds of episodes. You have Naruto and Bleach, 300 episodes. Dragon Ball was 200-something episodes. And Black Clover is only 170 episodes, despite the fact that it's on hiatus now because it got caught up to the manga. And from what I understand, it ends like on a cliffhanger. So it's going to be a year or two until it resumes again to whatever the cliffhanger was at the end of the series. But anyway, it's not particularly long. And, to that, the people who say it gets good after a certain amount of episodes, I say, like, yeah, you want to start with a great hook, but at the same time, you don't want to blow your load in the very beginning and really not have anything live up to it as the series goes on, That's why sometimes you see, like, final arcs of the series are never particularly that good, but anyway, this really has more side characters shine. You sort of saw a few of them in the early arcs, like particularly in the first arc with Asta and Yuno, the two main characters, essentially. Then in the next arc, you had Magna and Noelle takes center stage, and Noelle sort of hangs around. She's more of a secondary character, but a lead secondary character. And then as it ended before the last arc, we had the introduction to Luck, who was also a member of the Black Bulls, and, he uses, like, lightning magic, so that was cool seeing him. And then the last arc that we saw prior to this one was the Capital Assault arc, where all our heroes and the squads made their way to the Clover Kingdom capital, and then the Eye of the Midnight Sun made their first appearance, wreaking havoc. And they were after the leader of the Crimson Lions, Fuegoleon. I hope I get that name right. Some of the names are pretty out there. But they went after him because he has one of these magical stones that they're trying to collect. And they ended up cutting off his arm. So he's in a coma right now, missing an arm. And he's one of the more powerful magic knights. One of the captains, actually. So he's out of commission. And the Eye of the Midnight Sun is still at large because, well, our heroes weren't even able to defeat any of them. They all got away with their prize in tow. So after all the chaos, believe it or not, the captains decided to give the Magic Knight squads a bit of a break, and they all have a little, time to themselves here. So we had Asta, Finral, and Luck go on a blind date in a neighboring town, and you have Finral, who's trying to pick up all the chicks but continuing to fail. Asta, who's completely oblivious to everything. I mean, you've sort of seen early on with Noelle blushing when she encounters him, but Asta being oblivious and not knowing what the hell's going on. But I mean, the kid, he's only 15, so I don't know. When I was 15, I was trying to go after girls, but I guess Asta's a little still oblivious to that fact. And also with the blind date, you have Luck, who, like I said, is the lightning mage, and all he wants to do is fight. Like, anytime you see him, his little shtick is, oh, why don't we spar? Come on, let's have a match. Let's spar. And he's telling, like, his date, let's spar. Would you like to spar with me? It's like, dude, no, she wouldn't. I don't know, man. So, as all this is going on, Noelle is actually posing as a waitress, spying on Asta. And it turns out that Asta eventually hits it off with this girl named Rebecca. And they decide to meet up at a later time. And Noelle's getting completely pissed off. And then we get a cameo from this guy, Seke, who was the man who Asta defeated to become a Magic Knight during the initial arc, during the training and all that. And he's part of the Green Praying Mantis squad. And his whole shtick is he appears and in every one of his sentences, he's like, haha, it is haha, pleased to meet you, haha. It's like, it's kind of cringy, but it's funny. It's a little funny shtick he's got going on. So, as more episodes go on, we make our way to this village where Rebecca lives. And she's sort of like a caretaker for all the orphans in the town. And Asta's there playing with all the kids. Meanwhile, Noelle snuck into the town, too, to spy on Asta to see what he's doing. And we also see Ghosh, who was sort of a gag character early on in that he would just appear with a picture of his sister, Marie. And he'd look at the picture and go, oh, my dear Marie, I can't wait to see Marie. And his nose would start bleeding every single time. It's like, dude, what, do you love your sister? What a creeper, dude. So he's in this town buying gifts for Marie because of his day off. He's gonna, shower her with love and affection and gifts and whatnot. So he's in this town and he sees Marie playing with all the other orphans because, yes, Marie is actually an orphan, believe it or not, and so is Ghosh at some point, but he's older now and he uses magic, so he's part of the Black Bull Squad. But he sees Marie playing with all the other kids with Asta, who's playing with Rebecca, the caretaker of the orphans, and he has a complete meltdown because he's like, no, my sister Marie, how could you do this? And Marie keeps saying how fun Asta is, and he's getting all jealous. His nose is bleeding like you remember Master Roshi with the nosebleeds. This dude's nose is bleeding like a complete madman, and it is pretty funny. So as more episodes go on, we get introduced to this character's sister, Teresa, who's, taking care of all these orphans. And she was actually a former member of the Crimson Lions and knows Flingoleon and can actually use fire magic herself. And actually knows Sister Lily, that's who Asta is in love with, the woman who raised him in his orphanage when he was a young boy. And there's all these moments where Asta's like, I'm going to marry Sister Lily. And then everyone's like, dude, it's not possible. I mean, she's a nun. Nuns and priests are not to marry people. But, he's convinced he's going to become the Wizard King and then marry her. So as more episodes go on, it turns out these children are getting abducted by the Eye of the Midnight Sun to be drained of their magic power, right? And you can make sort of conspiratorial references to that with adrenochrome and kidnapping kids, drain them of their magic power. I mean, holy shit, dude. Is it based or what? So, as that happens, Marie gets kidnapped, and, Asta goes down to rescue him, but Ghosh is like, oh, I care about his Marie, oh. And he's arguing with Sister Teresa because, well, Sister Teresa raised Ghosh way back when he was younger, and he turned out to be a criminal and was, stealing food or whatever and was in a lot of trouble and eventually got taken in by the Black Bulls. And just the interaction between the two, she's like, oh, you dumb boy, would you ever get to your senses? Oh, shut up, old hag. And just Ghosh's voice, just look up the dub or whatever, because that's what I watch, with his voice, old hag, shut up, all I care about is Marie. So Asta's there trying to save the day, and eventually they get everything done and save all the kids. And meanwhile, Noelle was there eavesdropping on everything, right? So she's there watching from afar, hanging out with Sister Teresa as everything's transpiring. And then eventually Licht and other members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun appear. And Licht is actually the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun and starts to completely overwhelm them. And of course, Ghosh actually appears for the save to rescue his sister. And he uses reflect magic where you can summon these mirrors and shoot out these beams of light. And the character, he sort of has the emo look where one piece of hair is covering his eye. And he lifts up the piece of hair covering his eye, and it sort of glows, and he has this superpower and extra beam with that. So, he's able to help Asta, and it's quite powerful, actually, and has a decent arc where he goes from just caring about his sister to teaming up, helping Asta, to rescuing all the other kids. So I did appreciate the dude's arc from being a complete joke of a gag character to being very helpful, very useful with his magic, and helping to save the day in the end. But like I said, eventually Licht shows up and completely overwhelms the two of them. Like I said, the leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, a very powerful opponent. And as all this is going on, Sister Teresa joins the fray and helps as well. But, she's easily defeated, sent back, and tells Noelle, we need to find help. But what would you know? You have Seke there, who's the haha guy, and he's able to get help, makes his way to the Black Bulls hideout to call for help. And would you know this, too, that there's a character in the Black Bulls named Finral, who could open these portals to teleport any place he's ever been before. So he's able to open these portals to send in the cavalry. But before this all happens, a little time passes by where Yami's on the toilet reading his newspaper, he's taking a shit, and he's like, what are you doing barging into this hideout? How do you even know about our hideout? What are you doing here, boy? Yelling at Seke. He's giving him a hard time, and it takes a while because he says the ha-ha thing, so no one knows what the hell he's even talking about. But eventually he convinces them that, Asta, Noelle, and Ghosh all need help, so send in the big guns. So everyone goes to join the battle, but Gordon gets left behind, and Gordon is the guy who sort of looks like Marilyn Manson, and he talks he mumbles really low. He just mumbles, and I can't understand a goddamn word he's saying. They have subtitles for him, so you can see what he's saying, but he just mumbles, and I guess that's maybe he's shy, I'm not really sure, but they ditched him, they left him there. He didn't get to go along. So anyway, Yami shows up, and he's able to save the day, and he uses like this katana and dark magic, and it's pretty badass when he uses his moves. He's like, dark magic, dark blade, little slash, oh, and it just this growling voice. It's pretty awesome, and he's able to go in there and defeat everyone rather quickly, and actually does some damage to Licht. Although as things continue to transpire, Licht summons these other 3 more powerful members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Let me just see here their names. I'm on the Wikipedia page because some of the names are a little out there. So, like I said, the Eye of the Midnight Sun arrival. I just want to get their names right. They have reinforcements arrive. So yeah, as the fight's going on, right? The fight's going on, and you have Yami holding his own against Licht, but he summons these other members. And then eventually more Black Bulls members, more Magic Knights captains appear. You have the Silver Eagles, you have Captain Jack of the Praying Mantis, and then you have Charlotte of the Blue Rose Knights, who sort of has a crush on Yami too. And she's looking over at him, oh, Yami's so hunky. And they go in there and help defeat the Eye of the Midnight Sun. But the Eye of the Midnight Sun are able to escape. And, you know, the way it ends is the fact that, well, they're still at large, and we got to defeat them, and we got to amass our forces and find out what they're plotting next. And they figured out by talking to Julius Novachrono, the Wizard King, that they're after all these magic stones, and they got the one from Fingolion, and they're after even more. And the next arc leads into the Seabed Temple, where there happens to be another stone there, and the Magic Knights have to go there and get the stone before the Eye of the Midnight Sun. So it appears that the Eye of the Midnight Sun are going to be the big bads throughout the whole series, and it'll be a race to see who gets the magic stones first. And the Eye of the Midnight Sun believe if they get the stones, they can bring back the elf tribes. So there's all this crazy lore in there, lots of crazy names, but a lot of great action here, and it was great seeing other characters shine. Like I said, seeing Ghost shine, as opposed to just seeing Asta, and even in the prior arcs before that, we saw Luck, we saw Magna, and even Noelle, entering the fray. So it'll be interesting to see what other characters shine in the next arc. And I'm really enjoying Black Clover. You know, people criticize the beginning, and I agree with them that it is a slow start, and it is annoying listening to Asta's voice. Like, even the Japanese voice actor is annoying. So I think that's just how the character is written. He's just an energetic madman, and, yeah, he has no magic powers, but he's going to succeed no matter the cost. And it's fittingly that he has the weapon of the anti-magic sword. So he's got that, and another thing I forgot to mention is Yami. He also mentions that he can sense ki, right? So he gives Asta this little tip when they're battling the Eye of the Midnight Sun here. It's like, dude, you gotta sense ki. So Asta learns as he goes on. He's learning new techniques despite the fact that he doesn't have magic. And, great arc here. And I wouldn't even say, like, you gotta skip here. Just watch the whole series. I mean, you sort of watch the series to see the characters grow. That's why I can sort of accept the fact that it starts slow. I will agree that it is a slow start, but I can accept it just because you want to see how the characters grow and develop. And the way it's going now, I do like it. So I'm going to keep watching. Like I said, only 170 episodes, and I'm almost up to episode 40 now. So moving right along. So thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know your thought in the comments down below. Have a great day, and let me know your thought in the comments. I already said that, and goddamn, let's end the video.